I wanted to make this video just to try and make things a bit clearer for you. Obviously, when we have the head of a femur in our hip socket, and now there's some deformity or atrophy or whatever the case may be, it's obviously not going to be this nice kind of circular ball that's actually just going to glide easily. It's now clunky, and obviously we know from hearing the popping and whatnot. So what I want you to try to do when you're doing these things is we're going to change the variation slightly. But for something like the split squats, what you can start to do is kind of lock yourself against something. All right. So the purpose of this is, especially with the right hip, if it wants to sit out, is we can jam it against something and square off the hips. Now, we could also have something that we can kind of have for balance as well. We tuck the back toes, that kind of gets us into that bottom of the split squat position. Okay. The goal for you is going to be trying to keep this hip square, because the purpose of the internal rotation movement is actually to prevent you letting that leg fall out. So even though that's gone to external, when we focus on trying to pull the leg into internal as we go through this movement, it's to encourage your head of your femur to be in the right position. So if we take it as a scenario of, if I'm split squatting, you'll notice that my knee is not turning out. Okay. If I was somebody who does have a habit of doing that, I'm trying to purposely encourage them to internally rotate just to try and get it back to staying in that ideal position. So when we jam it against something, it has no choice now, okay? Now you still might be facing away from that, but where possible, your goal is to constantly be trying to get in there. Now you might have to spend a bit of time in this position. Okay, so if we are spending time in this position, you could be rotating away and trying to rotate towards. So again, the more we anchor this foot, or leg I should say, the more we're going to get the ability to try and create some rotation through the hip. This gives you lovely support, so it's going to make you feel super confident when you're doing it. Having something beside you is just going to stop you from falling over, whatever the case may be. In a perfect scenario, once we get a little bit better at this, and obviously if you had a box or something that you could anchor your leg against, then you could be starting to press down where you are trying to put a bit of weight into both legs to allow you to come up and down. Again, influencing yourself to internally rotate so that you're not rotating away from that front leg. This is still technically a split squat. This gives us nothing but support here. So when you are doing things, please use or get crafty where possible. Likewise with curtsy squat, if you're finding this is too much, then what you can do is you could brace onto something, you could step back, and then the goal is just to try and get the knee to come down behind that foot.